We are in the home stretch of this upcoming presidential election in November, maybe the most important election in the history of this country. I talk about all the things that are going on in this country leading up to that election here on TikTok, but there's so many things popping off with Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, the Republicans, the Democrats, Kamala Harris. There's so many things going on, you can only talk about so much in a TikTok video. That's why I do something called the Rational Boomer podcast. I do a podcast every day, an hour to hour and a half, more often an hour and a half. I have a lot of guests, and a lot of those guests are listeners, people just like you. And it's important to get everybody's perspective as we head toward this election. Now, if you've never listened to the Rational Boomer podcast, I would encourage you to make your first listen today. Because today on the Rational Boomer podcast, I have a guest that goes by Arlene Unfiltered. If you're on TikTok, you've seen her, no doubt. She's this political science professor, a woman about my age, who's smart, who's calm, and really has a lot of valuable information. I know the first time I saw her, I said, I got to get her on the show because she's calming a lot of people and informing a lot of people, and she's a legitimate expert. So today on the Rational Boomer podcast, she is my guest. It is a great show because of her, and I encourage you to check it out. If you want the audio version, all you have to do is go to Spotify, search Rational Boomer. If you want the video version, you go to YouTube and search Rational Boomer. You can also go to rationalboomer.com, and there's a link tree of all the links to anywhere you can catch up with the podcast or the TikToks. But again, it's important as we go toward November that we're all completely informed, and that takes a little time, and that's why I encourage you to listen to the Rational Boomer podcast. And as I said, if you've never listened before, today would be a good day for your first time. Check out the Rational Boomer podcast.